morning. I am on my way to work and it's Friday. Yeah, the weekend off. I have some time to ride the bikes and have a good old time with my buddies. And I love taking this road to work through the metro parks. Especially when there isn't any traffic on this off-ramp. And I can hit it and split it, as Biggie Smalls would say. And drag the virtual knee. Yeah! Yeah! Not so much. That's the great thing about being at the track, is you don't have Nissan Titan, you know, trucks in front of you, or Honda Odyssey 2000 minivans that don't know how to continue and not stop. You don't have to. But you know, traffic on the road is to be expected. That's why, you know, you kind of have to give yourself a vacation from the roadway every now and again and take your sport bike to the track. Live a little. Do it once and you'll want to do it all the time, I guarantee. I know this guy isn't going to take the twisties down into the metro parks. But at any rate, I found something very amusing that was on the news last night. A state councilman proposed a bill that would allow property owners to shoot deer that are on their property with a paint gun. This guy is going to the metro parks. What do you guys think about that? I think, you know, hey, it's all fun and games until someone's car or home or child, mistress, gets shot in the arse with a paint gun that was intended for a deer. Now, we do have a problem with deer. I get that. But you know what? Deer are very stubborn. You know? I see them on the roadway all the time, and I blow my horn at them. I rev my motor. Wah, 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 wah. I even give them the finger, and they don't budge. They stand there in the road looking at you, eyes all glazy with their tongues wagging. Like, hey, what are you going to do? I'm in your road. You going to hit me? I weigh 400 pounds, jerk off. Sure, my meat's tender. But do you even like venison? That's what they're saying to me. I'm a deer whisperer. I know what they're saying, man. Yeah, come on! Wait a minute, I'm not on the track. What the hell am I doing? This amount of fun on the way to work should be illegal. Actually, I think it is. But hey, if you won't tell, I won't tell, huh? I mean, come on. I think I'd say to a state pooper or a Metro Parks police that caught me speeding on this road, hey, I don't see any traffic on this road, man. There aren't any deer on the road, so cut me some slack. I wonder if that would work. Probably not, huh? Well, let's just hope that never happens. So yeah, that was an interesting story I read. But, so I'm commuting on the way to work, cutting through the, oh goodness. Another car that I have to try to overtake. Now, that's gonna be too tough to try to take that truck out, so I'm just gonna go a different route. Missed a gear. See, that happens. It doesn't happen very often, and it was definitely my fault. I didn't click the quick shifter hard enough to get in the gear. Oh well. But this is a freshly paved road. Yeah! I love freshly paved roads in the morning. Oh, more cars. That's fine. I had my jollies. I had my excitement for the day. Well, actually, for the morning. I'm gonna need a little more excitement than this to keep me going all day. You know, because what's this guy's plate read? Morning JNS. Morning JNS. I love trying to figure out what vanity plates are supposed to mean. Now this is, you can't see this probably, but it's MRGRN space JNS. So is that Mr. Groenginus? That doesn't make any sense. MRGRN, that could be morning, right? Morning, and what's JNS? Morning jinns, which are demons? No, who would want to greet jinns in the morning? I don't know, I'll try to figure, because you know, these type of things stay in my head all day if I don't figure them out. And he's from New York, you know? So if I ask this guy, what does this plate mean, I'm liable to get shot. What's your plate mean? Shut the fuck up. You know, so I'm not going to do that. I'll just try to Google it or something. I'm now in the city of Brecksville, which the cops in Brecksville are notorious for, you know, just pulling over bikes and people and just basically being dicks. I don't know why either. I mean, they get paid a lot of money to be a cop in Brecksville. You have to have a 4-year college degree, which I think is great, because that lets me know that the copper, yeah, at least he's somewhat rounded. He went to college. He, you know, he experienced things. You know, he got drunk. He did most of the things that people do in college. You know, he got to study with other people of different ethnicities. He saw some black people were there, and they're actually intelligent. So when he gets on the road and he's patrolling, and he, you know, he rolls up on me for speeding through the metro parks, and he discovers I'm a Negro, you know, maybe he'll, you know, say, hey, I can talk to this guy. I don't have to come out with my, you know, my finger on my trigger, my taser all fired up and ready and juiced up and turned to the maximum voltage. There's a kid and his dad. Hey, they waved back. Lovely. They probably waved back because I wasn't speeding down the road. Now, if I were speeding down the road and waved at them, I bet the dad and the kid would have given me the finger, like, hey, I live on this street. But anyway, the Brecksville cops. Coppers. For a morning stroll, it's a big doggy. Oh, wait a minute, they're having a yard sale. I'll be back! Be back to that yard sale. And anyway, the Brecksville Cappers. So, you know, they get paid, like, the starting salary is $65,000, man. That's pretty good. That's more than pretty good. That's exceptional for Northeast Ohio. It's just to compare that, a teacher with a 4-year degree, K through 12, starting salary average, well, I'm not going to take average, I'll take Brecksville. The Brecksville starting salary for a teacher is $50,000. Nah, Harley guy didn't acknowledge me. Nah, I'm hurt. I'm butthurt. But, you know, so I think that's great. But, you know, I respect coppers. You know, they have to do their job. You know, and most of them, most of the coppers I've encountered have been cool dudes and gals. Last time I met a dickhead copper was when I was starting out riding bikes. This was in like 97 or something, 98. I'm showing my geezerism here. Yeah, but 98, 97, and we got some traffic, so I can talk now. 97, 98, I ran into a dickhead copper, and I was at a light, and he was coming in the opposite lane, opposite direction, and I took off from the light. I'm just learning how to ride, so I gave it a little gas, and the bike, you know, kind of stood up a little bit. It was a CBR 900 double R, and it stood up. This dude, in the middle of the street, does a U-E, throws his lights on, does a U-E, comes back. You know, I pull over, you know. Again, I was young, starting out, but I pull over, and he walks up and he's like, I'll never forget this. You guys are wondering, how do you remember this? I remember like it was yesterday. He walks up, and he says, first thing he says, I'm not impressed. I am not impressed, is what he says to me. I'm thinking to myself, I didn't do anything to try to impress you, to be honest, but okay. And he's like, you're doing a wheelie on a main street? I'm like, sir, I didn't do a wheelie. I don't even know how to do a wheelie, which honestly at the time I didn't. Now I still don't do them very well, but you know, I'm not stunner way doing, you know, wheelies at 110 miles an hour plus. But he was like, yeah, whatever, give me your license. And he wrote me a ticket for reckless op. That's a 6-point violation, you know? But it all worked out well. I went to court, and I had Judge Collier, and she is now like on one of those freaking TV shows as a judge, but at the time she was a Cleveland Heights municipal court judge or whatever. And I had Judge Collier, and I went once, pled not guilty, came back a second time, and the cop didn't show. And so she says to the prosecutor, again, I remember this like it was yesterday, she's like, where's your officer? And the prosecutor's like, yeah, he's running late. So this was at 9 in the morning. For some reason, I was one of the first people called. And she says, okay, I'm just gonna wait. I have him wait. She made me wait until the end of the day, basically. Not basically, the end of the day, period. You know, she called me again at like 4:50. I was the last one there. And she says to the prosecutor again, this is ridiculous, this traffic. Anyway, she says to the prosecutor again, where is your cop? And then the prosecutor says, he obviously couldn't make it, can we reschedule? Judge Collier, I love this. She was like, no, your cop didn't show, case dismissed. Boom! Boom, boom, boom! Done. But threw that out. So no reckless op, no ticket whatsoever, no nothing, no court costs, nothing. Just dismissed. I love that. So the Ducati, I got my oil changed. The Ducati uses full synthetic oil, and it's good for up to 10,000 miles. I hope no one rides their Ducati for 10,000 miles without getting an oil change, but I get mine changed like every 3,000 to 5,000 miles. But the Ducati has something built in to it that produces a reminder when that mileage is approaching, and it's pretty cool looking. I have to go back to the dealership and have them disable it. I looked in the settings and I can't do it, so, but when you fire it up, you can see that. It says oil service, and then that little oil light just kind of fades away really nicely. Boom! I like that. You know? And then it stays there until you go to the dealership to get your oil change, or in my case, you go up there and ask them nicely to turn it off. Pretty cool, huh? So we're rocking and rolling now. They're doing something else to the road. They're spraying some spew, some tar, liquid stuff that you rock. That you don't run a drive over right now onto the road, which is probably what took all damn day. We're gonna head off to work here, and I hope that my coworker Adam rode his CBR 600 double R, a graffiti edition, to work today, because I really want to go to a hibachi steakhouse, young lady, a hibachi steakhouse for lunch. And it's like so far away, and he never wants to drive there because we both have SUVs. But if we're on the bike, I think, hey Baldy, I think that I think you'll do it. All right. Oh, there's those Brecksville cops I was talking about, you know, and their beautiful brand new Ford what is those? The hell is that thing? Explorer. That's what it is. They're Ford Explorers, EcoBoost vehicles. Yep. Those vehicles are they're pretty fast. How do I know? Don't ask. But, and they can handle well too. They can really corner. You'd be so surprised if you happen to see one in your rear view after you thought you shook it off, and it's like still like hanging with you. You know, I'm talking about speeds, you know, less than 120 and whatnot, but you'd be so surprised. You see that thing with its little pretty lights behind you, like, wow, I thought I shook you off like a flea. No, you're hanging on like a tick.